CLG is weird to me right now because this split and last split is like, I expect them to do better than they do. I don't know if it's because their team isn't working together properly or something like that, but it just doesn't, when I see the lineup, I think they'll do really well. But on stage, it just doesn't really seem like they're playing as well together. So I think they're still a good team, and they're probably right now a better team than us. So it's definitely gonna be a hard matchup.
Hello and welcome back for Game 2, where CLG will be facing off against FlyQuest.
Yeah, better team than them. They don't want that to be true today, right now.
Certainly do not. But if you're enraptured in the atmosphere of the NA LCS, please join us at the studios here in Los Angeles, California, where you can catch your favorite teams and casters live. Tickets are available at level.esports.com/tickets.
Shall we create some campaigns for ourselves to see who is the favorites?
We can somehow figure out who sold the most tickets. I think we can do something. Let's take a look at the starting rosters, though. Selecting blue side, it's Counter Logic Gaming. In the top side, Darshan. In the jungle, Reignover. Mid laner, Huhi. Bot Stixxay. Support Biofrost. And their coach, Kha'Zix.
And facing them on the red side, it will be FlyQuest. In the top lane, it is Blame. Santorin in the jungle. Keane mid. WILDTURTLE bottom lane. JayJ as support now, and updated with Saint Vicious on stage.
Yep, coaching them up as yesterday FlyQuest picked up a much-needed win after improvements from all positions on the team.
Yeah, they have actually won their last 2 games, so FlyQuest coming back a decently strong revival for this team. And as Saint Vicious actually mentioned on Twitter, they have been triple blocking their scrims for the last couple of weeks. And for people that haven't paid attention to all the pro tweets and stuff about that, those triple blocks is 3 different teams that you're scrimming against. And those can range from like 10 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. Basically, you're screaming all day long. You eat, you sleep a little bit, do some review, and that's pretty much your whole day. So the hard work definitely paying off a bit for them. And we'll see if that one pays off here today.
Yeah, it might pay off to see if they can pick up a first 2-0 win week here with a win over CLG, who also showed their own progress in victory yesterday, so it's going to be tough.
I definitely agree, because in the past, CLG, they've definitely had this problem, especially in the mid game, of a bit of tunnel vision, what we call it, right? You kind of stop looking at the mini-map and you just try and kill, what's in front of you. And they made a lot of kind of mid-game dives, and they were punished for it quite a lot in spring. Yesterday, we thought that was going to be true too. They almost did it, but they had a lot more reserve. They showed some restraint, and they were able to cleanly execute that game. So definitely some improvements shown already for Counter Logic Gaming. And we're all the way into Champion Select already, and we've already got Taliyah, such a good pick right now. Jungler or mid laner, wherever it goes.
Very curious to see where that does end up. To recap the bans, nice and quickly, Sejuani, Kai'Sa, Xayah, Aurelia, Nocturne, and Olaf made it just as FlyQuest lock in Zoe.
And while Olaf may seem really weird to a lot of people in the current meta right now, that is one of Reignover's most played champions, not just this split, of all time. And he has already played it 3 times in this split alone. It's one of the champions that really does enable his style of that early game counter jungling, being able to duel anyone at any time so that you can path the way that you want and try and get your camp leads, as well as try and get some early presence for your solo laners. And the solo laners is what we really saw on display from Counter Logic Gaming yesterday, where huhi on the Lissandra is roaming constantly to Darshan's lane to try and gank his opponent. Taliyah could be in his hands, and that's another possibility of a roaming champion, but doesn't necessarily have to go there, as she is an extraordinary jungler at the moment as well.
I would also say that I think the same is true for FlyQuest yesterday. Their solo laners looked very good, shutting down the funnel from Golden Guardians, and Flame on Aatrox once again was part of the reason. Also, Stixxay fancying a revisit. He's going to go with Lucian, paired with Braum there next to Biofrost. Both these teams did play standard yesterday, so not expecting too many changes.
I really do love early Braum picks, though, and even early Lucian picks, because while you're not expecting changes, that is a very flexible duo, right? That is a duo that you can have in the bottom lane, standard carry and support, or you can have it in the mid lane carry and mid lane support. With the Braum, or not the Braum taking the smite, but the Lucian taking the smite.
Yep.
So it's either a strong bottom lane, you can pressure those kills, or go for funnel if you feel like you need to answer that on the opponent's side. Zoe, though, usually goes in the mid lane. We've seen it fairly rarely in the bottom lane as a carry down there, but definitely could be moved around. I would expect Keane, though, trying to pilot that one and land bubbles.
Yep, to tie the room all together. Also Taliyah in her bot lane as well. So kind of a lot of uncertainty. I agree with you that Braum plus potentially funneling marksman is great to draft for that reason, but we're into the ban phase 2. Renekton already banned by FlyQuest, protecting the Aatrox pick, and Swain actually a ban there. So either CLG is thinking that something's not going somewhere, or the turtle is maybe going to be playing a mage. I forgot. So that's a thing you can do too.
Yeah, exactly. Swain is super good as either solo lane or in the bottom lane carry. Like we've seen it very, very popular in Korea, and they don't want to let it be paired with the Morgana. That's often the super danger, right? Binding lands, you not only get to draw them in, but you also easily get to land never moves, so there's a lot of combinations and a lot of crowd control that could stack up. That's why the bans look a little bit spread out here. FlyQuest, though, they're fully targeting Darshan because they're pretty sure, none of those champions are going up to the top side.
Yep, and again, protecting Flames Aatrox. Looks like a couple champions being cycled through. Shen locked in. That's a lot of mystery on the FlyQuest side.
What I'm thinking is probably carry Morgana, support Shen, mid Zoe. That's what I'm sticking with right now as my highest percentage play of name that composition or name where the lanes are going to be allocated to.
Stixxay's feelings in the draft, flashes the Mumu, then his favorite champion Warwick. And what's the actual pick here for CLG? It is Ornn. So Darshan going to fall back to Ornn.
Yeah, Ornn has been what CLG early on in the split really highly prioritized. The first 3 games before him were placed on that. They just really love the long range, pretty much guaranteed engage that he can bring to your team. And he always gains a lot of value when Braum has already been picked on your team. So the wall not going to be there to break the Ornn ultimate. And just to make sure, they're not going to let the win wall even have a possibility of breaking the ultimate either. Yasuo is actually super standard, or super commonplace pick right now.
There's also super hype Kobe. So it is locked in.
It is one of your favorite champions. It's a lot of people's favorite champions. And it actually has a lot of possibilities in this game too, because whenever you have a lot of mobility, you definitely have a possibility of outplaying Zoe. And that's what people like to see.
I think what's maybe more exciting than Yasuo being picked is that because Yasuo got picked, Reignover is probably playing Taliyah jungle, so I'm actually really excited to see how he takes this champion in.
It's a really good, feels like to me, match for him if he was able to get a good feel as far as the mechanics of executing in teamfights later, because the mechanics of jungling Taliyah are very straightforward, and they perfectly accentuate a jungler that is going to try and control camps and get those leads like that, because her clear is very good, super high damage to camps because there's no drop off in the damage, and she has a lot of speed since she got flat move speed bonus, as well as you can take celerity for extra bonus on top of your passive being near a wall if you're running through the river wall or any of the jungle walls. So there's a lot of possibilities for Reignover to quickly clear and move around the map, which is what you typically want from him. But we'll have to see, as he will be going up against a Kha'Zix, and you do have to respect, especially early, Kha'Zix, all-inning you, especially if you face check anywhere, any brush, and he gets the extra positioning on you, then not a lot of options for the Taliyah, because W is easily dodged.
Yep, that was the last pick, of course, from FlyQuest with 1 jungler band in phase 2 in Sinjal, so kind of curious to see what Santorin can do. 2 pretty aggressive junglers, both taking Electrocute this game, so could see some fireworks in the early game. But we'll have to see.
I think the main thing to look for here with CLG's composition is they got both of the walls in the game, the denial walls basically. Yasuo Wind Wall and Braum Unbreakable. Those can be used in conjunction to push on towers really effectively, because you can deny enemies trying to take out your wave and move up without the possibility of those ranged champions, chunking you down during it, landing bindings, landing bubbles on you. So if Biofrost and huhi are on point with their timings, with their counters here in the Unbreakable and the Wind Wall, then it can be very difficult for the likes of WILDTURTLE and Keane to actually land those very important skill shots that they're going to need to pick off kills.
Well, like we said, both these teams had a pretty good-looking win yesterday, but that can only be one here in week 3 for either of these two. So someone is going to finish 2-0 for CLG. That would mean pretty healthy second-place spot, at least for now, as the rest of the games will get played out. For FlyQuest, going even in the first few weeks is nice as, again, they continue to show growth.
Everyone in the kind of middle pack is really looking to put themselves
out of there.
Exactly.
Just get out.
Get out of the dog pile, because Team Liquid are really the only one head and shoulders above that have separated themselves. And Logic Gaming have kind of set themselves up, especially with their play yesterday, as a good contender for kind of rising up and being one of those playoff teams. Reignover now starts on red, gets actually a leash from the bottom lane as well to even speed up the clear that much more. Try and get some early levels in it. That W on the Raptors is for health gain. You can see he started with the jungle talisman item. It is very, very effective to just tap any jungle monsters. There are so many in the Raptor camp that it's a super good source of health, because all you have to do is tag them, then the life steal goes off, and you can see he healed right back up there without having to use any potions or his smite yet.
Yep, nice trick there from Reignover. Is going straight to the scuttle. Also started sweeper. They did actually check to see if there were any wards there for FlyQuest, but does take it safely. Santorin, as we can see, has actually started red Raptors and now up to Krug, so full clearing his top side of the jungle.
Yep, him as well with the talisman. It makes it very easy for Kha'Zix with the missiles to be able to clear out the Raptors, and makes you wonder if, you know, how healthy he's going to be after finishing that clear. Might just go for a recall and then down to the bottom side of the map to try and bring some damage to the Morgana binding, Shen taunt, you know, crowd control layering possibilities down there. And it looks like that is going to be the case. So Santorin went for the red clear into recall, and he's going to try and affect the bottom side of the map.
As we check in with the bottom lane, farming Morgana there for WILDTURTLE with the Shen support. Lucian Braum's pretty tough 2v2 for most matchups, so right now, Stixxay and Biofrost have the edge. We'll see how that develops.
Especially level 1. Morgana not, you know, super strong in the level 1, especially usually we'll take, you know, Tormented Soil or something like, unless there's like level 1 where she's looking for binding kills to try and have some control of the wave, but nice swing wall there to block off the Paddle Star. Quick little trade there from Huhi, actually. Putting on display why the mobility is so effective against Zoe, as well as effective projectile denial.
Certainly like the counter pick here. It's again some threat here being generated by Stixxay and Biofrost, trying to hold them off the wave, but again, like you said, it does get better for Morgana once you get more levels into the soil. You can just kind of W the wave and then peace on out.
And that was one of the most juicy Tormented Soil casts there, right? If they group up in the minion wave, you're always looking for a Tormented Soil that hits the champions so that you can get cooldown reduction, you get healing off of it, but also overlaps with the minions so you can push out the wave there and not get continually shoved in. As we said, though, the Kha'Zix that for FlyQuest, Santorin, did the red and then recall, so he could be positioned on the bottom side of the map if there is, you know, some confrontation down there, because a taunt landing could guarantee a binding, and that is a very long duration of CC if you're able to bring some more damage down to the area.
Instead, right now, just some power farming as Reignover also back out on the map. Finished his Chilling Smite and actually his Hunter's Potion, but he's looking for a gank topside first. Darshan going to miss that charge. Flame going to have to get out of there, though. Does fly away, but the seismic shove is very clean from Reignover.
Yep. Very good to not waste it early on, and you can easily cast it on the arrival zone of the Dark Flight, because you get a little bit of animation there when you do land, and Reignover's able to easily land that one, so nice little chunk of damage is going to help out Darshan in his laning on Ornn, as he's been able to really control most of the early phase.
Flame though does hold onto his summoner spells, so still feeling just fine there in the 1v1. Reignover also checking mid again. Here's Huhi with the Tornado, ready to go on to Keane. Uses the cleanse for the move speed off Spell Thief. Does get flicked back. No, good flash from Keane, but that was his real one.
Yeah, it's really good patience here by Reignover with the Taliyah too. Once again, he saves the W there, the seismic shove, until there are other factors aiding the cast of it. This time around, it was Zoe running into the corridor, and so there wasn't a lot of dodge room for him. So he does indeed get the flash out of Keane in mid lane.
And you can also see just 1v1, although Keane will right some of that ship here as he picks up minions. Huhi is kind of doing just fine in his 1v1 right now. Reignover with a bit of extra pressure will kind of help that. And with level 6 on both Yasuo and Ornn, I see a combo, Kobe.
Yeah, this is a no-stack Aatrox.
Oh, Reignover flashing straight in there, just going in for Flame. Darshan going to line it up. There's the Dark Flight. I think Flame at this point knows he's dead. The last breath will give Huhi first blood as Darshan. Oh, he taking a few too many turret hits. Gets picked up by Santorin, who flashes the wall. Nice 1v1 trade there for FlyQuest.
Yeah, all right. There were obviously some mistakes.
Given the situation.
Tower aggro, juggling there, and the use of the flash early on, but bottom lane.
All right, this is also not ideal. JayJ forced to flash, got stunned by Winter's Bite after the passive proc, and Turtle very likely did not have Black Shield available as Flame TP's back to lane, instantly trying to farm this out.
Yeah, once again, we see the Aatrox getting pushed in early and then dove under the tower. Dive doesn't really work out how they wanted, though, as Reignover flashes right on him without, hitting him with any spells or anything. Then he doesn't have flash for later. Darshan is going to be the one to reacquire the tower aggro, and he actually got slowed, so it's hard for him to get to the wall to flash out this time. And the other two members of CLG were unable to protect him in that escape. So Santorin, very luckily for FlyQuest, gets some gold back for themselves, because if it wasn't for that, then they would be in a much deeper hole here, as the CS in especially mid and bottom lane has been heavily CLG favored.
Here comes Santorin, though, hiding in a brush next to a controller. Who he's going to face check. Wards it up, though. Doesn't get the wall, but again, Q's through. But Santorin with the red buff is doing so much damage. Very nice win wall from Huhi. Not going to die to Keane's paddle star.
And Santorin, huge presence here in the mid gank. Takes out almost all of the health bar by himself.
Remember, we haven't seen Kha'Zix in quite a while, but that ult that we used to evolve first has been changed. The brush shenanigans are gone, but he went evolved Q first.
Yep.
Which I think is why Huhi took so much damage.
And while evolved Q, they have made touches to it. A lot of them were not hurting the damage versus isolated targets. So like the damage versus isolated targets can definitely be very, very big, and that's where the big strengths of the champions he's tried to focus into. So Kha'Zix roaming around, you definitely have to keep track of your minion wave or your allies. Now we're going to have to keep track of Reignover and the use of Taliyah wall.
Level 6, nice wall lined up already. Turtle going to have to flash out of the way. Black Shield and gets himself out, but JayJ not so lucky.
Nice shot right there. Able to get the stun on him, and easy seismic shove over the wall, allowing Turtle with that culling to collect another one.
Blue buff steal, though. Keane does get that one over to himself, as Santorin going to take an extra camp out of the jungle. Top lane, dive is kind of brewing. Darshan already going to use the ult, wants to clear the wave before the dive starts, because he can see.
He doesn't get all the wave, though, and they're still coming.
Yep, Flame dives in. Darshan's like, again, just trying to clear it out. Doing well so far. The charge is good. Ooh, a nice stopwatch, but he's still asleep. Maybe a touch later, Santorin is able to get the kill under the turret.
Golden dreams right there. He does go down in the end. FlyQuest grab themselves another kill, opposite side of the map. CLG Gaming still with the gold lead here, though, as Reignover is going to pick up the extra minions, made their way down.
There's a nice trade there for FlyQuest as they move their pressure to the appropriate side of the map. Reignover is going to tax that wave because Darshan not able to take it anyway.
Is it really tax if
at that point
the lane
no.
is dead?
No.
More like picking up gold that's just sitting there on the ground. Keane, though, pushes out mid lane as well, and this is going to start to get very quick because Shen is level 6, so Stand United can answer more of these cross-map plays that are taking place now. And we're getting to the stage of the game where CLG, they have their typical early game lead. They've had early game leads in the majority of their games, but again, it has been kind of the mid-game decision-making where they get a little bit over excited and go for some tower dives maybe where they kind of lose track. Let's see if it happens this time around because FlyQuest are looking for the counter opportunities here. Reignover, though, still side-set on bottom side, and the flashes are not back up for Turtle or JayJ.
Yeah, again, good timing once more for Reignover. No ult around as Huhi is also going to join his buddy. Diving coming. Yep, they know now there's a glacial fissure, but only onto one target. It is JayJ again that will go down, but Turtle with a good watch. He's going to try and save himself. Turtle, though, dead to Huhi. with that last breath, just destroying most of his health bar.
Yep, Reignover is able to land the seismic shove as soon as the stopwatch wears off, and that triggers the Yasuo ultimate from huhi. Comes in, takes him down immediately, and that will be a second kill. 2-for-1 trade in that dive as Biofrost got binded up under the turret. Took a bunch of shots.
Yep, certainly not good stuff, but a great pairing. He's going to watch it all again, Kobe. It's time for the Acer Predator replay.
Bio tries to start off with the flash ultimate here. Turtle had Black Shield on himself for that one, so didn't get knocked up initially. But then, after stopwatch wears off, there it is. Able to proc that one, and huhi finishes off the kill.
And it kind of flashbacks to yesterday, honestly. I mean, these are two good friends on this team. They're two Korean speakers. They get along very well. I think yesterday I saw a lot of Reignover and huhi pairing together to kind of force a lot of the mid-game action. And even now, especially with a ton of synergy in this pairing, once again, they're kind of just controlling the early to mid-game for CLG and forcing these plays. And so far, it has been so good.
Yeah, I have to say as well, whenever we see junglers playing Taliyah well, you know, there have been a lot of moments where every jungler kind of wanted to pick up Taliyah because her power was so good, but a lot of them didn't quite have the mechanics perfected. We've seen Reignover be very clean so far with the Taliyah play as well. And he's obviously put in the work on the champion to make it a very powerful pick for them indeed. Usually she's banned out though, that's why we haven't seen her recently.
I feel like historically for Reignover that hasn't always been true. He's been kind of a narrow player, but he's been so good on his signature champions that it hasn't really mattered. So for CLG to have maybe more flexibility, more depth in their pool, I mean both again that duo are very good Taliyah players, so just having the options that CLG had in draft leading to this point is nice.
That's why we were kind of, well, a lot of people would be shocked at the Olaf ban. Remember the last ban from FlyQuest, or one of the bans from FlyQuest, was an Olaf because Reignover shows a preference for the champion, but not a lot of other teams would give up the Taliyah in favor of banning out the Olaf instead, and CLG showing that, yeah, he likes the Olaf a lot, but you still can't give us one of the high priority picks here. Huhi gonna start up the dragon. Wind wall there for the early damage.
Ooh, maybe he didn't want that because Keane now can start bubbling with impunity. Ooh, Reignover actually gonna turn it back around. Huhi already found a play for himself. The shot back in is Reignover now gonna have to get away. There's Santorin taking one out, but he's dead, so no one really to contest for the Drake. Instead, the fight's gonna break out. Flame is dead. Briefly, as the passive kicks back in, flash bubble for Keane. Not going to land as FlyQuest should be able to pick up the dragon, but going to get any more exit kills. huhi again, kind of moving around, but not enough. Keane with one more auto. It's actually Turtle that grabs it instead, and CLG lose 3 in that exchange.
Huge for FlyQuest. They're able to get the dragon. They get 3 kills off for themselves, and they completely reverse the pace of this game. That was such a big collapse, and 4 kills now on that Kha'Zix. JJ's looking for a little bit of action here with Darshan, but he gets just into the brush.
Yep, bubble with no chase. Stixxay TP's back to the bot side. Does have his Blade of the Ruin King, but that did not go CLG's way.
All right, so huhi puts up the wind wall here for the early dragon damage to try and block those autos. That means he doesn't have wind wall for the fight. And it's one of the big parts of Yasuo's early game kit, especially. Reignover there was tanking all of Keane damage while he was trying to focus down on the Kha'Zix, and he gets taken out so early that CLG are at a numbers disadvantage. And you saw there, Stixxay got trapped so early on as well that there wasn't damage opportunities here from Counterlogic Gaming, as FlyQuest were able to take out 2 of the main sources without a lot of opportunities for any or abilities even to come off from them. So really nice use of the crowd control there from FlyQuest and focusing down the 2 carries.
Great collapse, gives them a Drake and 3 kills, which they'll take. Gold lead not quite there, but still feeling good as first target gold is on the table. Keane pokes him through there with an auto huhi with an early wind wall. I think predicting a potential bubble. You see Keane's playing a couple mind games as Reignover going to start something on top side. There's the wall. Here's the Ornn Flame. Going to have to dodge. He does flash. Now pops the Massacre. Going to try and take out Reignover, but the damage is just too much. TP cancelled. FlyQuest, no, they can't answer.
Yep, they get the kill, but huhi now.
Uh-oh, Riftail battling him as well. Keane takes him out with a bit of an assist from Shelly. Santorin going to try and get that first turret goal for himself in the mid laner.
Yeah, Rift Herald can be a super big bait because as the defending team, you want to go up and hit the eye before you can get the charge off. But FlyQuest have 2 members there, and they collapse right onto huhi for the counter kill. 1 for 1, plus Rift Herald going to get off another charge here on the secondary turret, and that's going to be a big one.
Yep, Reignover sleeping. Not able to take down Shelly before she charges in again. Does take it, but again, still a good take here from FlyQuest.
So it's a pretty brazen activation of the Rift Herald right in the minion wave, and it baits huhi in. Because Keane was still in the river, and they actually had a ward, CLG had a ward on that Pixel Brush. So huhi a little bit over-eager there, or was tunneling on the eye activation.
He's like, I can cancel it. Oh wait, I don't have a tornado. Instead, it's a nice play there from FlyQuest that gives him the first turret gold, and again, still not quite the gold lead. But they're getting close, and they're starting to open up the map and give themselves opportunity, despite maybe some early game strength here from CLG. FlyQuest have done really well to keep the game even and just counterpunch continually.
Yep, CLG not done though, as they push again on the bottom side. This time they'll get the turret and open up the map a little bit more. Now, FlyQuest, they do have a lot of burst damage. The Luden's Echo have been completed on both Keane for the Zoe and WILDTURTLE's Morgana. And Kha'Zix got the early Duskblade here, so with all his kills. So there's definitely potential to pick off and get single kills here.
Yeah, just like
now.
JayJ with another great assist. Oh, everyone dodging out of the Ornn, and that's Flame with a kill.
Well, there's one of them, and it is a Shen. Oh, but they still have the possibility, you know, with bubbles flying around and an assassin in the jungle, CLG have to be very careful.
Biofrost clearing wards, not so safe. But he's going to be all right this time around. Santorin, though, sticking around for either a straggler or the turret, as Flame is going to get them anyway, pushing back.
I actually love doing this, especially in solo queue. If you kill opponent on top side, then you just wait for someone coming to the turret. Yeah, he's
so unsafe.
He knows that there are not many visible players.
Ah,
there you go.
Still going there. Reignover here to help him defend, so CLG should be okay. Oh, Winter's Bite not there for Biofrost. Santorin just juking around that one. But still, with turret and mid being answered, FlyQuest have a little more room to maneuver here. And despite all the lead that Stixxay has built for himself in this lane, FlyQuest have kind of done all their good work around the rest of the map.
The vision that you mentioned is really important, and the room basically for FlyQuest, because if you have the more control wards you have, the more opportunities to land bubbles, land bindings from Fog of War. But huhi goes in.
Yep, looking clean. EQ knock-up. There's the last breath. Stixxay with the culling, gonna try and take him out, but Santorin annihilates Reignover, and Keane's out scot-free. Now Santorin gonna get jumped back on. They want this juicy shutdown. 5-1, make it 5-2. huhi able to grab it.
Definitely good gold coming in there with the shutdown, but CLG were very frustrated that Keane was able to get out on Zoe running up through the top side. Now, they want to get the objective afterwards, but Teleport comes in to try and stop the push.
Here comes Wave Clear Turtle, ready with the Morgana Puddle and the Luton, so simple defense there. Just one Teleport committed by FlyQuest to stop the rest of that shove. Still CLG pick up kills here and there, and they're still up a few hundred gold, but we're going to get to 20-25 minutes, and it's going to be an awfully close game, Kirby. Clouddrake up in 30 seconds. Baron will spawn for the first time in the game in around a minute, and it's still very tough to say which team's ahead.
Well, it's going to be a super interesting team fight to watch, too, and we'll explain that a bit later, but here is the attempt at going for Zoe. 4 members converge. They get the knock-up, but Keane was able to get the extra speed from W activation and runs over to the Blast Cone. So during that whole time, Santorin just jumped into all of them, assassinates Reignover on the Taliyah before going down, and was able to get kind of a distraction kill there to give an opening for Keane to run his way to safety.
Yep, like you said, the early Duskblade there from Santorin. More than enough pressure, as huhi's actually topside with the Clouddrake up, so I think CLG may be favoring some turrets at this point, trying to open up the map a little bit more. Santorin on a minimap is going to solo out that Clouddrake, so CLG is going to make a trade.
Yeah. All right. With all of the extra space here now, all these outer turrets quickly falling. Actually, nice clear there from Darshan as FlyQuest were trying to answer bottom side, but now they have to wait another 30 seconds for the minion wave to come. And with that 30 seconds, CLG move top.
Boys are still here. Oh, Keane though. Oh, just dodging around the sleep. Ooh, he with a stopwatch, but Keane gonna get the channel in. There's Biofrost. No, Keane able to get it. Breaks his own watch. Now the Spirit's Refuge from JayJ looking to turn things back around. Biofrost is so low. TP in cancelled. Reignover still cutting it out. Now JayJ under threat as Keane still around. Grabs the double as he takes down Bio. Stixxay too far forward. No, it's not. It's actually taking out Santorin in transition.
Madness pastry.
It is.
Kills all over the place, and Keane is making Zoe Zoe looks so annoying, which a lot of people can relate to. As he goes all in there onto huhi, he actually preempts the tower dive that was coming his way. So because of Keane's aggression here, he kind of fights his way out. JayJ is in the flank that's coming over to try and support him, but he just jumps straight at huhi. He's able to get the damage around Windwall using his ultimate very effectively there, and then immediately with the blue smite, finishes off huhi, pops the Zhonya's, and now they've got CLG on the run, despite them starting out with bigger numbers. Chases Bio into Turtle. He's able to finish off the last kill there, but Stixxay was then able to find some vengeance onto Santorin and turn around the kill onto Kha'Zix.
It's getting pretty chaotic here. CLG still looking to break down another turret, preferably in mid, but did manage to take the outer thanks to huhi split pushing, which at this point will likely continue until there's another big objective to fight for.
And this is going to be a super fun one because we have double Zhonya's for Zoe, for the Morgana. There is then the Aatrox passive to also account for, and a Shen standing knife. So even though there aren't super strong pure tanks for FlyQuest, they have a lot of defensive utility in item activations and passives to try and have, you know, pseudo front lines or create space and timing windows within a team fight. Whereas Counterlogic Gaming, they have double walls that we keep on talking up with the Wind Wall and the Braum Wall.
Triple walls.
Triple walls
Taliyah,
even, actually, for Taliyah as well.
Really
And Braum can even break that one. So, or I mean, Ornn,
yeah.
he could even put a hole in there.
Bust on through.
And break a hole if they need a way out. Anyways, we'll see if they actually find themselves over at the Drake or fighting for the vision here around Baron.
I only mention it because Reignover did use his ulti to try and siege the mid tower, but FlyQuest's responses have been really good to a lot of CLG's pressure. They're still holding onto this mid outer tower, protecting that advantage for as long as they can.
Yeah, they started off the split super slow with those losses, but as I said, have won the last 2 games, and they want to keep the streak going, get themselves out of that bottom place of the standing. CLG, though, pushing ahead strong, trying to move themselves up and into a favorable position to try and get a spot for playoff.
A lot of tenacity here from CLG as they try and take down this mid outer turret, but once again, FlyQuest are not having it. TP is almost up for Turtle, but halfway or just over there for Flame. So gonna have to play this coordinated pushing pretty well, but so far so good for FlyQuest defense.
And I think FlyQuest would actually look for any sort of pick that they could get, because huhi doesn't have the completed Infinity Edge yet, and now doesn't have anything. He's toast.
There's a Shen and a Kha'Zix on the same team.
So yeah, I don't even know if Santorin needed any extra help with the amount of burst damage coming out, but for good measure, JayJ's there. There will be no escape for huhi. He does arrive, and that was a very easy pick for FlyQuest to be able to pull out. Again, even though you don't get free invisibilities from the Kha'Zix ultimate activation, you still get a very long duration on it now, and you can really easily and freely use that one to go for picks because the cooldown is not very long. So FlyQuest, they're going to be able to gain an objective off of that pick from Santorin and JayJ on the top side.
One of the things that's nice is that Kha'Zix is really good at helping your split pusher, also really good at picking off split pushers as FlyQuest do get yet another turret.
And it further delays that Infinity Edge that I was talking about huhi not quite completing here with these double BF swords just sitting there in inventory. Yasuo is going to get a huge spike once he can actually complete the Infinity Edge, so you can get your true damage on your crits, as well as being able to get more crits. There we go. Looks like that recall might be to offer up the combine cost, and CLG will feel much more comfortable about actually taking a fight now.
No, your assumption is correct. Does have 2 items now finished for huhi. CLG still somewhat on the back foot as FlyQuest continue to make both good reactive and proactive plays here in this game. Still basically even in gold once more. It feels like FlyQuest again really using the little things like that mid outer turret to just move a little bit more freely through the map. Also Kha'Zix, Shen and Zoe with a Cloud Drake helping out on that front as well.
All right, 40 odd seconds here left on the Ocean Drake, and that might be the conversion that we're looking for. And huhi might be able to get some use out of his newly acquired Infinity Edge. They did fix the Yasuo passive so that once you have Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge, you get your 100% crit chance. So that's where a lot of the team damage can come from. even though a lot of Yasuo's has also started building a lot more bruiser, and you get, you know, frozen mallets, things like that. You know, play the Rune King coming through for some life steal and sustainability. Top side though, he's gonna have to worry about some assassins making their way over.
Huhi does cancel out any potential bubble opportunity. Santorin once again shadowing the split pusher as Huhi is going to play back a little bit more. You said at the end of Champs League though, Kirby, CLG do have lots of good ways to kind of force a siege, but I think FlyQuest is doing a good job pulling them apart as Santorin is going to have to dodge away from this. The culling has already popped. Reignover does not aggro the Baron, but he will force the flash from Keane.
Yep, definitely a valuable source of mobility gone here for FlyQuest. As very good point you touch on there, Pastry Time. CLG want to force FlyQuest into one area, but it's hard to do that. You know, when Kha'Zix is just staying spread out, Shen staying united allows them another opportunity to try and split the map and keep the pressure. FlyQuest doing a good job of spreading out and looking for those, you know, isolated kills and pick opportunities.
And it feels like the final piece of all that is actually Flame's Aatrox. I mean, this is the pick that I think Flame is very happy with. He's a carry-oriented player, even though he does have versatility. And especially against someone like Ornn, Flame has so much pressure in that 1v1 that I think FlyQuest is doing a smart job, not only enabling their top lane, who was one of the better performers on the team last split, but also just saying, okay, if you're going to be pressuring all the time in this 1v1, let's make sure we get stuff done on other sides of the map.
Yeah, especially now with, you know, Titanic and Rageblade both completed. Just annihilates the waves. He can threaten the 1v1. And they do have teleports ready for a possible collapse.
Looks like CLG, they're setting up vision here around the Baron area. Control ward in the back of the pit. Huhi gonna spot that ward in the brush with his control ward. CLG would love to have a pick here. Gonna have to play 4v4 for a little while, I think, because Darshan is just constantly dealing with waves.
Ooh. Yeah, they're actually collapsing here as FlyQuest grouping up around mid 2 for the both teams pulling the 4-1 as they send their top laners down bottom to split. And we see Santorin roaming through the jungle to try and get a little bit more control of the vision before they set up this fight, using his Duskblade passive there to try and take out any wards they can find.
Yep, another, I mean, again, just to note, 28 minutes through this game or so, still very
Oh,
close.
he activates ult!
Looking for Darshan, but he's a pretty tanky boy. Still going to leap back in onto him. Does not feel that tanky as Flame dives in with a Dark Flight. Darshan is going to be shredded down. Can't even reactivate the ult. Still decent AoE as Turtle is going in. Finds the root, finds the ult though. He's going to take down the carry. It's Taliyah that falls as Keane grabs the kill.
FlyQuest find their pick, and Santorin jumps onto the Ornn there. They're able to land the follow-up very easily, and that is definitely going to be all they need to start up Baron, because the follow-up kill was Reignover. No smite available for CLG. They don't have many options, so they just try and push up some of their minion waves to the turrets.
I was just about to say, the one thing is in a close game, a Baron this late really does a number on your chances. So it's FlyQuest, they get the kills and get the Baron. They're still ahead in goal, and it's not by much, but that will change in the next 3 minutes.
And now, even though they have double walls to defend this, they're going to have to deal with so much pressure from FlyQuest. You see, good job there from Flame. No hesitation, following the flash of Darshan to ensure the kill here onto the tank, and then Turtle flashes right into Reignover with the Morgana, nails his binding, and nails Reignover, securing that Baron.
I think that's actually a great tagline for the renewed FlyQuest. No hesitation. They've looked really coordinated, really clean around the map, and everyone just seems on the same page. We used to joke all the time about Turtle and his aggressive flashes forward, and he did another one then. But the rest of his team feels on the same page. So Santorin, though, maybe reading a different book. He's going to take some damage from Reignover, but things should settle here as FlyQuest still with the Baron, trying to force down turrets.
Yeah, Turtle's now flashing forward on a champion that has crowd control, and he has the Zonias for some defense if he gets himself in a little deep. Here we go, though.
Oh, an ulti against CLG, trying to force Darshan. Only gets one in the knockup, and it's a pretty tanky Shen on the front side. JayJ with his Spirit's Refuge is finally going to get knocked up, but he flashed out of the way. Flame resurrecting in the front side. Might buy FlyQuest time to re-engage the fight. Flame. Dark Flight's out as Keane looks for a pick there with the bubbles. Stixxay, though, low but not dead.
Yeah, Keane was able to put a lot of pressure back onto Stixxay, get him low enough so that CLG still have to pull out of that fight, even though they started out on pretty favorable terms. And because of the Baron buff, FlyQuest still get turrets afterwards.
Yep, 4 turrets to 3. Gold starting to tick up here. 3,000 gold ahead for FlyQuest. Gonna make it 4-ish or more as they take down a tier 2 in bot lane.
Definitely a close one there, but again, so many of the rewards going over to FlyQuest because of this Baron. That's why we were talking up that last play so much and the importance of the mid lane pick where they were able to get those 2 kills. Now CLG though, they should be able to defend during the remnants of this Baron buff. Only a minute and a half left for them to wait as Stixxay tries to get a jump on this minion wave and take it out before the rest of FlyQuest can buff it up.
Yeah, does a good job there, but FlyQuest back to the earlier party here in mid lane. Flame is getting topside push and Santorin again.
He landed slow.
Yep, flashes in, gets a slow down. JayJ with a taunt at almost max range. Flame on a killing spree takes down Reignover once more.
Oh man, they are making this aggression look so good here for FlyQuest. Constantly catching stragglers out here from CLG that are trying to move to the rest of the team. Santorin this time around uses his flash. He landed the W slow. That allowed them to get in range for JayJ's taunt.
Darshan drowsy, it's kind of tough to clear this out. FlyQuest actually going to crack this top inhib turret. We're going to take the inhibitor with it. Thought they might not get too much more out of their Baron, but they are getting premium value out of every second of the buff.
Whew, yeah, they still have another 30 seconds, an extra minion wave to work with here. They might be able to get this one, this cannon minion wave, all the way up to the turret in time.
They're going to try, in fact, transitioning bot side as Flame pushes the wave in here from mid. Santorin once more threatening Darshan. That's going to force them away. The binding though finds Biofrost. Follow-up is there. Good Unbreakable to stop Paddle Star damage coming through.
5 seconds left on the Baron buff. Doesn't look like any extra damage.
Looks like the party's over, but that's still a very good looking Baron power play there for FlyQuest. Up now about 6,000 gold. Just before the Baron, we were pretty much even.
Yeah, Saint talked about their triple scrim blocks finally showing and kind of paying off as far as the hard work that those guys have been putting in. And they are certainly firing on all cylinders right now. You mentioned no hesitation, constantly going for these aggressive plays and pushing their lead with the high damage composition and the added mobility and safety of having a Stand United to go on top of these assassins when they jump in.
Looking good so far, as you can see. 6,200 gold Baron power play. But CLG seems to defend in tough spots before. See what they can rustle up here, because we've kind of seen a blueprint in that first quick mid-engage, a big Ornn interrupt following up with the CC. There's lots of team fight potential here for CLG, and most of their carries have decent items to try and force something, but FlyQuest have just done such a good job splitting up CLG when it counts that I'm not sure Darshan is going to get into a spot as good as that again.
Yeah, it becomes so much more difficult though when you're facing an Aatrox with the Guardian Angel, because even if you jump on him and you try and burst him down before he fills up his blood well, he's going to keep those stacks while he's reviving from the Guardian Angel, and then he's definitely going to be able to get off his blood well when he gets back up from that. So even though he builds damage and he's this threat, he also buys a lot of time as a frontliner, and it just becomes so frustrating. We saw in the last fight, you know, they had to wait for him to come back up. He actually zoned a lot for JayJ to get out of there and cause them not to lose any members. On top of that, Santorin too has a Guardian Angel now. So there are just a lot of defensive utility in the items from FlyQuest, and they've got plenty of damage.
It's all aggressive utility though, right? Yeah. Doubles on his double GA is, that's almost a throwback as Keane threads the needle on the tornado hitbox. Very nice stuff, but again, ult there from Darshan trying to start something. Yeah, goes bowling, gets a spare. Now back to basic.
There goes your big Ornn ultimate. Pastry, you're talking about, it's one of the biggest things they have for a team fight, and not going to be available. So now it's all about, can they actually get the knockup for huhi to take down one of these priority targets? Are they going to get value out of the win wall? And thus far, FlyQuest have just been able to rush right past them.
Yep, sieging still, but wave clear pretty good there for CLG. Stixxay did commit his ultimate to make sure to clear that one out. It looks like FlyQuest have different plans as buffs are starting to respawn. Baron up in 40 seconds and Elder Dragon in some number of minutes will be available. FlyQuest already took 3 Drakes, so certainly a nice option for them to have, but seems like it's, again, time to kind of show off that same level of discipline. We have our seed, we have our map control, let's go back, buy, reset, and gear up for Baron number 2.
Okie dokie. CLG trying to find themselves a little bit of vision on the Baron, so their main opportunity they're looking at for a comeback here is FlyQuest starting Baron and messing up the situation, you know, either dying inside here with the extra damage or possibly CLG trying to get a Baron steal off. It's definitely risky, but one of those situations when you don't have a lot of counterplay that you have to try and just set up the possibilities for yourself. And here we go, FlyQuest will start it right over the Scuttle Crab vision.
Yep, just time to force onto the Baron. CLG know about it, but FlyQuest just happy to back away.
They can force them out. Anytime they force them out to come check this Baron, it buys time for the super minions on the side wave to slowly push for themselves and create more pressure. And they have plenty of vision throughout this entire blue quadrant of the jungle that will see any rotation.
JayJ dashing out, Turtle with the black shield, not gonna get seismic shove, and now Santorin back around the other side. Huhi, oh, he got it! Santorin! Actually, he's gonna pop into GA. Maybe a step too far here for FlyQuest as Flame is on the flank, but now he's getting collapsed on for the rest of CLG. Another Guardian Angel down. Oh, and that flick timing is really nice for Reignover. Flame misses the fight, but Bloodwell again gonna revive him. JayJ going back in, but Stixxay with a clutch QSS weaves out of the fight for now. CLG, they want to kill. They got two, but they just didn't count.
FlyQuest have no extra lives left, though. Keane goes in to try and even it.
Sleepy Reignover's not where you want to be. Jungler gonna have to go back now. Baron is up. FlyQuest gonna force once more.
They also have super minions taking out the inhibitor. That inhibitor is now down, and so is the Baron. 5,000 health and burning.
Reignover stayed. He's gonna try and steal it. Huhi again with the last breath. Reignover gonna try and get in, but Santorin is able to smite the Baron down. FlyQuest looking for their kills. Gonna get Darshan. Huhi, I believe in GA, is gonna fall on the other side of it. Keane does get killed by Biofrost. Oh, but still the kills chasing forward. Santorin ready for another support kill. Reignover alive, but maybe not for that much longer. It's 3 dead on CLG's side. Just Stixxay and Reignover left. Stixxay going in, wants to try and make it. Man move, but the Spirit's Refuge is beautiful. Calling, oh no, Stixxay! He can't see around the corner blind. His Flame dive back over to try and take him down. Now he's caught in a 1v2, gonna try and dance out of this one.
Oh, but he's not got a lot of room to dance back to here. It's only him and Reignover trying to defend a Baron up FlyQuest that are looking to end it.
In a crab dance floor, Kobe, it's time for your best moves. Tower falls down, but Inhibitor will be threatened. Also, a Super still shoving into the top side. CLG holding on for dear life. But they're about to get 3 inhibs here. Top might respawn soon. That's about the best news I can give you.
Man, that Baron went down to 27 health before it was executed. And it almost could have been a different story here. But anyways, FlyQuest burning it down, as you can see. As you mentioned, Reignover sticks around. They get the knockup from Darshan to proc Huhi's ultimate. They try and get close enough, but Reignover's not far enough towards the pit to even try and get a smite off, and just would have had to been some other source of damage from a spell from one of those CLG guys that was over by the Baron. So even though it got very low, there wasn't any easy point and click for the steal, and FlyQuest was still able to secure that one, still able to get the kills afterwards. And now, attempt number 2 here, actually, as Elder Dragon might give another shot at a steal.
Yeah, action can't stop. Stixxay is also left to wave clear as teleport Lucian. Elder Dragon is low. They're going now. They've already TP'd their Lucian in. Keane with a great stopwatch. Gonna stop that all. Nice windmill. Huhi over the top, gonna try and get a kill. He takes down Keane. CLG trying it in front of the pit. It looks desperate, but they do manage to snag a kill. Huhi, though, does go down. 2 for 1 so far. Not too bad for CLG. But Santorin dives in. Oh, might have been too far. There's the Stand United. Gonna keep him alive. Santorin on a killing spree. Biofrost burning down, but he somehow lives. Elder Dragon now, he's joining the party. And Stixxay alive. He needs to keep himself safe. Gonna try and take it down. Santorin is so low. The taunt lands in. Santorin looks for it. Finds it with the spikes. And that may be the end of CLG here. Santorin again resetting around the clock. Gonna take down Darshan. That should do it. FlyQuest. We're gonna take down CLG. Biofrost. Best of luck, buddy.
He's a Spartan. He's trying to fend all of the super minions off, but there's nothing he can do.
Yep, too many minions as FlyQuest finish their weekend in style. They'll take down CLG and complete the sweep.
Whew. My goodness. Well-deserved undefeated weekend here for FlyQuest. Grabbing their 2nd victory. This one over CLG, and this one with Kha'Zix on display. Bringing back the assassins, the Shen support was constantly used for aggressive plays, and Keane's Zoe, I have to say also, definitely deserves a lot of respect for that game. Constantly was chunking people out and creating openings for them to work with as well.
It feels like, people thought maybe Kha'Zix was just off the table after all those changes, but kind of feels like older Kha'Zix. Kind of feels like the last time Santorin played in the NLCS. Kind of used to this, Champion never changed, as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, you definitely, if you pick the champion, you have to play their strengths, right? You have to have a composition where you're trying to split push, keep everyone out, spread out across the map and isolated, so you can use the isolated damage. He constantly was looking for areas to use his ultimate, so even though you have to activate it, they're constantly creating plays around that. They go for the isolated targets. They go for the people who are answering split push. They go for the people who are overextended or caught in the jungle. And they're able to finish off those kills a lot of the times with, Shen ultimates on top of it. So very good use overall for a cohesive win there from FlyQuest.
Well, looking good, but to hear more about that bloody game, let's send it over to Ovely and the returning FlyQuest support.
Thanks, guys. JayJ, congratulations on that victory. Now, we ended up missing you in weeks 1 and 2. I understand you were recovering from some sort of injury. How are you doing now?
Well, all throughout last split and this split as well, I've been suffering from kind of the start of carpal tunnel syndrome. And it's something that I think a lot of players suffer through, but we don't really talk about much. So I've been taking a lot better care of it this split as well as during the off season. And I think this split I can play my best.
Well, I'm sure your team is happy to have you back. FlyQuest picking up their first 2-0 weekend of this split. With you on the team, how does your team play differently?
I don't think I'm a big upgrade over any of the players we've had before mechanically. I just think I'm trying to keep everybody calm and focused on what our team comp needs to do and what we need to do as a team. And I've been really good at that. Especially for example, today we had a really good pick comp, but we never wanted to team fight. So that's all I said over and over and over. And I think that helped us out a lot.
Well, JayJ, thank you. And for more on the game, let's hear from the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Ovely. FlyQuest picking up a win, moving to 500. Crazy to say because this team was sitting in last place just last week, and now they're at that 500 mark. Mark, you called it.
Yeah,
Is this the way you thought they'd do it?
Yeah, didn't I say it's a wild turtle meta in week 1? Didn't you think Morgana when I said that? That was the exact champion I knew.
Obviously, that's what I thought.
The reason I heard is you said, don't you just expect this to be the game that CLG loses?
That too.
It's just what happens.
It is kind of what happened.
Yeah, and I think that the draft was a big part of that. I think the takeaway of the Shen was something that initially worried me a little bit, but ended up paying off because it looked like CLG with that Taliyah pick, we're starting to set up a potential Taliyah Shen bot lane and maybe a funnel comp. You can always run Lucian and Braum bot or mid, but it did feel like Taliyah didn't scream Reignover, even though it is a very fast-paced, efficient jungler. I wasn't sure what they were going for, and I think the Shen served to help their own team comp with the Kha'Zix now having someone to ult him when he goes in.
I do really like what JayJ said in that interview, though, about saying we never want to team fight against this team.
No.
We should only get picks, because that's exactly what happened in the game. You got pick after pick after pick. A rare number of picks, actually. You very rarely see a team be able to get this many skirmish or 2v1 kills. Part of that has to do with CLG not respecting it, but a lot of it has to do with FlyQuest continuing to go for these plays.
Yeah, it was the kind of thing where I think if it was just all on FlyQuest to make these plays, it would have been a really hard game for them. But there are a number of times that huhi got super caught out of position. They covered the plays that CLG went for well, and then there's the time that Santorin dropped the Rift Herald mid and huhi killed himself, and then huhi trying to set up a play on the top side that got him killed, and then when they finally start getting into these bigger skirmishes, at this point, I'm pretty sure Santorin's 5-2 and is able to just one-shot people like that.
Yeah, and I think while we can point to Santorin as a top performer from, both a mechanical and damage standpoint within this game, credit does have to be given to JayJ for the composure of the team and understanding what their win conditions were based on the team composition that they drafted.
Yeah, and it looked really annoying for CLG to try and get fights on the team because they had the Aatrox passive, they had 2 Guardian Angels, they had a Shen shield, and they had an AP Morgana Black Shield, which is way more powerful than you're used to that spell being. And time again, it's like CLG would kind of find the fights,
Right.
wouldn't get it, they'd all be low, and then the chaos would split in again because Santorin always had the flank.
A lot of that coming into play 28 minutes into the game. A 2-0 for FlyQuest in the mid lane, plus the Baron.
And again, look at the way this fight starts. It's actually just an initiation on Darshan, so he never gets off his Ornn ultimate to get the stun out of it, and CLG already on the retreat. WILDTURTLE flashing forward, as usual.
Quintessential.
Every champion can take flash, and therefore every champion is a WILDTURTLE.
Champion. I like that logic. But as we can see, it still was a relatively even game in terms of the goal differential for quite some time. It was really in those fights around the Baron, you know, that allowed them to secure more map advantage and then really find those picks afterwards.
And it was difficult to find those picks too because they had the double wall comp with the Braum and Yasuo. So if you're doing 5v5 Baron base and trying to Morgana black or bind someone into a Zoe pick, that would never have worked. They had to find people in rotation, and that's why I think FlyQuest deserves a lot of credit because Santorin found Ornn in that situation, found people in side lanes, and that was how they found their pickoffs, not these kind of shooting barrels situations that you can set up with sieges or baits.
Yeah, and look at the FlyQuest team. Like, they started 0-3, then they beat Optic, Golden Guardians, but now CLG, right? They're a 500 team.
They are a
After all
500
this.
team. They are absolutely, and CLG now moves to being a 500 team with this loss, down from 3-2. For CLG, I mean, what's going on? These are smart players. Darshan, huhi, Stixxay, these are guys who've been playing League of Legends at a professional level for many, many years. Darshan, the most experienced player on the Rift here in the North American LCS. Why are they getting caught out like this? Why are they finding themselves in situations? Because you said it wasn't, if it was only up to FlyQuest to make the plays to win this game, it wouldn't have been so easy. So that means there is blame to be laid on CLG.
Well, I think we can look at huhi, and we always talk about with Yasuo, the most difficult to play in this champion is not killing yourself because you have so much mobility and room to initiate things. And a number of times he tried to make plays happen that just killed himself and got his team into sticky situations. So I think he had a pretty rough game in particular. And then maybe some of the other guys shouldn't have been caught in transition quite as much as they were.
Yeah, and I really feel like this is who CLG is and has been for about the last 2 years. Huhi's played his 6th unique champion in 6 games. Half of them are hits, the other half are misses, because there's no way he's mastered every champion in the game.
Right.
And he's a huge wild card for them. Reignover as well has a very small effective champion pool and almost always had. They're still 7 for 7 on First
Actually,
Bloods.
all of their wins have come on Olaf.
Yep.
And
welcome to Reignover. 4 years in the making.
In every single game you watch Reignover, he'll have a brilliant first blood path, and then you'll watch a skirmish like 2 minutes later, and just shooting abilities the wrong way almost every single game.
All right, tough loss for CLG as FlyQuest moves to 3-3. We're stepping away. When we return, it's Clutch Gaming, hoping to knock down Team Liquid in Game 3 of the day. Don't touch that browser. Nice wall lineup already. Turtle gonna have to flash out of the way. Black Shield gets himself out, but JayJ not so lucky. Now there's a glitch finisher, but only onto one target. Is JayJ again that will go down. But Turtle with a good watch. He's gonna try and save himself. Turtle though dead to huhi with that last breath, just destroying most of his health bar.
Taliyah die. Looking here. Look on this side, look on this side.
Nice and nice.
Yasuo no ult, Yasuo no ult, Yasuo no ult.
Huhi goes in.
Yep, looking clean. EQ knockup. There's the last breath. Stixxay with a culling, gonna try and take him out, but Santorin annihilates Reignover.
Okay, I'm ulting. I can go hard here. Go.
I've jumped in 3 seconds.
Keep fighting.
Nice.
Kill this guy. I'm okay.
Gonna try and take it down. Santorin is so low. The Torn lands in. Santorin looks for it, finds it with the spikes. And that may be the end of CLG here. Santorin again resetting around the clock. Gonna take down Darshan. That should do it. FlyQuest. We're gonna take down CLG.
The sub-above difference is legendary. With Jersey mics, throwing an unforgettable party is easy. Now this is a party. Jersey mics, be a sub above.